What's going on? What's going on? It's Uncle Jackie live from Ashby in Atlanta. I'm with my boy Moves. We'll be back in a few.
There we are. Yes, we are. We're back.
Yo, I think it's time we take a fucking time out to hear what Harlem got to say. What, niggas? Harlem on the vibes. You don't want no problem with us, guys.
Yo, what's up, man?
With the game, I'm standing out in the crowd. Also hard, gotta stack that case out my belt. Got the beats banging, speakers bumping loud. I'm the king of the game, I'm standing out in the crowd. I'm so hard, gotta stack that cash. Yellow tape wrapped around, I'm making a splash. My flow so hot, it's burning up the scene. When I step into the room, you know what I mean. Yellow tape, yellow tape, yellow tape. We on fire, we the ones in charge. Ain't none time. Turn it up, let the beat drop low. Yellow tape everywhere, it's our time to show.
Practice. I can show you practice. I can show you how to put $1 million in a mattress. I can show the difference between an icon and a classic. Baby in the major should be rolling in the basket. I'm advanced, and it's a lot of dance. From anywhere, my jewelry jump like Ja Morant. And Kif Tower shorts got me tanning with the babes. You would be a surfer if you ever had this wave. I just switch up my cabana, they throw shade. Matter top 5 and top wives, no I'm the fade. And though I'm out the loop, I be mute, playing cute, nothing to say to you. Cause when I'm back home, I'm like Kyrie, I won't play with you. This is magic with the fur. Tim Duncan on the spur. Tanya Harton on the skate. This that Kobe number 8. This the kick over the head in the hand of Sue Bird. This boy's superb. All I got is 2 words.
Uncle Jackie, what's going on? What's going on, Moves? How you, bro?
Not much, man. How you doing, man?
I'm cool. I'm mad as hell right now. I'm supposed to be in a damn cab right now, but I'm having technical difficulty with that as well. I don't even get it.
Shit happens,
so
man.
I'm actually riding on a damn train. I'm sitting here like, let me get this Uber so I can get the hell out, so I can get into my crib.
Dude,
I get out and shit telling me my card isn't valid. Like, bro, what do you? And then I didn't have time to sit there and fumble and fondle with the shit. So fuck it. We here, man. How was your holiday, brother?
Oh, it's fantastic, man. I can't complain one bit. A lot of good things happen. Um I put a few investments out that seem to be turning up pretty good. Um,
Oh, that's good.
yeah. So like, a lot of blessings, a lot to be thankful for. That's for sure. Um, but yeah. Well, what about your holiday? How was your holiday?
I can't complain. It was cool. It was quiet, as expected. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't complain.
Well,
It was festive.
mm, Shaniqua Branson, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for showing up with us.
So how
Uh,
you doing, Ms. Brunson? Good evening.
what was it?
But yeah, bro, you hear about it? The assassination?
I seen the video and it says so much. Nowadays, you used to be able to, or back in the day, you'd get a um, some sort of grainy replay on some crappy type of camera, but nowadays you gotta thank technology for the somewhat decent lenses they have on security cameras, especially when it comes to this little assassination. It's it's actually kind of weird because um you see the kid walk, you see the guy walk up and fire around, and obviously it's probably a low caliber bullet because the bullet didn't have enough ass to push the action back to kick out the shell itself. So the guy had to reach and pull the slide back to eject the shell casing and push it back in. It wouldn't even slide itself back in. He had to manually shove it back in, and then slide another shell into the chamber so he could take his second shot. I don't think I don't know. Like there were a couple of guys that were in the military, and well, they were a little bit more in the military. They did shit for the CIA, and they were doing a little evaluation on this video too. And they said, well, first off, the dude isn't a professional, and you can tell by this, that, and the other. And kind of, I wouldn't be able to do it justice because I don't have the military history, or I'm not a hitman either. So it's like, but at the same time, though,
Right.
what they were saying made a lot of sense. It was like, wait a second, this wasn't like John Wick in the movies kind of thing. But the weird thing of it was the guy did walk up with intent. He knew what he was doing ahead of time. It didn't seem like um, it, it seemed like it was cold and calculated. It didn't seem like it was a desperate act, like this is the last option I have, kind of thing. No, this was like some sort of message or something, man. I think there's more to
Oh,
this
definitely. Oh,
than
did
there
you
is
hear that
going
the
on.
bullets had names on them? The bullets had words on them, rather.
Yeah, the bullets did have words on them. I forget what they had. But yeah,
Me too. I'm not home.
I just watched that video, and yeah, I think the dude wants to get caught. First off, it's kind of odd to say, but mm, I think he does. I think he does want to get caught. I don't think he cares about getting caught. And the weird thing of it is, I'm going to try and predict it now. When he does get caught, either they're going to find him dead somewhere, or when he does get caught, he's not going to worry about being caught, because once the public knows why he took this dude out, I don't think there's going to be anybody that's going to blame him for what he did. Like maybe crime of passion or something to that effect, because of from what I understand, this guy was the CEO of major health company or health insurance company, excuse me, that did a lot of bad things to a lot of good people trying to get their insurance covered in the whole 9 yards. And there was another video that I watched too, man. I don't want to say too much all at once, but tonight I really want to try and break it down to an hour. if we can, because I got to be up late or early rather, and but nevertheless, I watched another video, and apparently this CEO that was assassinated was on his way to a meeting to the shareholders or board meeting or something to that effect. So like this dude was on his way to showing bullet points and PowerPoint presentations on how much he was saving the company and all this shit. And what's up, Fuckwar? Uh but the even though that this dude didn't show up, the CEO didn't show up to the meeting, they started the meeting promptly at whatever time he was supposed to be there. But which meant that they didn't even give a crap about what had happened to him, or if they heard about it or not. It was just like, he's not here. We're just going to move on along with the meeting while he's bleeding in the streets. It's kind of it's kind of fucking cold.
Dude is going to go down as a martyr. Dude is going to definitely go down as a martyr.
I don't know, man.
Like he did that for the people. No, I don't mean the CEO. I'm talking about when dude finally gets caught.
Yeah, but a martyr has to die for their cause. That's a difference between a martyr.
I don't think he's gonna go down not fighting. He's not gonna go down like cause. Most likely it's gonna end with either him doing himself in or trial by fire.
Yeah. I think I think this has been planned out. I think this dude got really royally screwed, and he really did sit down and did some thinking about how to go about bringing his own justice, so to speak. And it's not justice because it's got nothing to do with the law. We're going to try and stay to the letter of the law when we're talking on here. And well, it kind of we'll kind of do that if we can, but at the same time, I think honestly that the pictures of this guy, he doesn't look stupid. Like it's almost as if like a lot of the photos that Fakwa, we went over that. Yeah, he hey Fakwa, can you possibly look up real quick to see what words that were actually scrawled onto the bullets themselves? Because I just like made a glimpse of that video real quick, and I'm not really sure. I mean, I think I could look it up here. I don't want to click onto something and do something wrong. And but anyway, this guy, like I said, my impression is this kid is not stupid. Like they got some still shots of him stopping and grabbing a coffee and shit like that, man. And it's like, I don't know. He's just got, it doesn't look like dumb features, like a features of a dumb person. I could be completely wrong. His picture speaks 1,000 words, and it could be all the wrong words. I don't know. Oh, deny, dispose, and delay.
Yeah.
Thank you, so. Yes, thank you, Fakwa. That was awesome. But deny, dispose, and delay. See, these aren't like words that now they have no context. These are just three definite words. They're D words, but at the same time, pointing out the obvious, there's no context to each of those words. Deny what? Dispose what? Delay what? These are all. And is it
healthcare?
And is it one thing?
Mm-hmm. If it's healthcare, though, it makes sense to me. Deny service, dispose of the sick or whatever, and delay the ones that you don't deny.
Yeah, or delay so you can deny.
Delay help, whatever, something like that. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Or dispose so you can delay. Sense. Delay so you can deny. Deny so you can delay. These all have walk hand in hand with each other when it comes to. And is it just the medical coverage that they're screwing, that they're denying or disposing or delaying of? No, I mean, it could be a multitude of things. You could deny the fact that this person is sick, dispose of their records so they can't be seen. Delay their treatment You know, I want to know, you know, and see, that's the thing. I think this is forethought.
Right.
I think this guy really sat down and wrote down a plan on how what he wanted to say, how this message comes across, and I think honestly the
Oh,
the best or worst is yet to come in this whole
run
situation.
that way.
You know, like I think honestly, there's a lot of good that's going to be coming out of this, but I don't think that I wouldn't condone anybody doing any kind of similar acts whatsoever just to get justice. You know, I believe in the you know the judicial system. You're innocent until proven guilty. You have due process. These are all things that you know that should take place if this guy gets caught and arrested. But I think if this guy gets caught and arrested, he'll have a public statement. He'll have attorneys representing him, and he'll. I don't think the story is over with at all by a long shot. I think this
Nah,
guy maybe.
definitely not.
I think he may have had a relative of somebody, or a good handful of somebody's, or he could have worked for the company too, and just got sick of looking at the medical records and going, "Whoa, you know, like there's over 1,000 people here that you know that died because of X, Y, Z, and this insurance company could have done something about it. Who knows? You know, but at the same time, you know, I think there's a weird good message about this, but like you know, the two wrongs will never make it right. And that's the thing. That's the thing that well, if this guy has a message to if the would be assassin has a message to people, he doesn't need to use murder to personify it or you know put an exclamation point to his life, so to speak. You know, saw 6 about the insurance guy who kept denying coverage and ends up being killed by the denied patient's son. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm thinking that there's something twisted here, and you know, and it's weird, Falkwork, because when you say something like Saw 6, or any of the Saw movies for that matter, or for like Hostel's another one. You know, it's you see these demented people getting some sort of like comeuppance, and if you want to take pride in your country and you want to take pride in being an American, part of being an American is due process. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You know, and now if the sentence is being hung on the out in the White House lawn, then you know, so be it. You know, whatever the sentence may be, let it carry out. I'll approve. But at the same time, it's like, you know, because this dude really did kill somebody. You know, it's an assassination. You know, there's laws against that, and there are laws against that for a reason. It doesn't matter what, you know, he can't be the Robin Hood of murder. You know, dude, it's like, yeah, I mean, you can,
Yeah,
but
you're
you're
right
not going
about
to last
that.
very long.
No, he's not. I mean, this is a major move. This is a huge move, bro. I mean, for what? And I think it might be more to come. Just like the beginning, and like you said, nobody's encouraging that on this channel at all. But it's just a prediction.
Yeah, I mean, and I see the message already. You know what that man's public death or public murder or public assassination meant. You know, it's painfully obvious. You know, the story has already been told. You know, this guy got shot out in the middle of New York City, and once his name got out there, everybody knew what the story was. It didn't take much research at all for people to figure out that he was the CEO of this insurance company. Wait, what insurance company? Oh, such and such insurance company. Oh, that insurance company that's made millions of dollars off of denying people, you know treatment. And the weird thing of it is that okay, like here's what makes it pointless. Okay, here's exactly what makes it pointless. You just got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. hired into the cabinet to make America healthier again. You don't think that he's gonna, you know, investigate insurance companies and all that kind of shit? You know, they didn't. This kid didn't need to assassinate the CEO of a major health insurance company to bring that to our attention. Maybe there's something deeper. Maybe there's maybe there's something deeper. Maybe he was molested by the guy or SA'd by the guy. Sorry. Maybe there was something, some sort of childhood trauma, and that none of us know about. It's got nothing to do with the health insurance company at all. But I don't think that's like I said, he didn't need to use murder or use assassination to make his point. And eventually there's nothing new under the sun. It seems like Trump's cabinet is going to be turning up a whole lot of rocks, putting a lot of daylight on a lot of shit. And I'm pretty faithful that, and I'm not saying this because, Trump's into office now and nothing could stop him from making it a super duper perfect, ultimate country, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not so much as that. It's just simple fact that the team that's in there right now is capable of doing a lot of shit. And all you have to do is just be patient enough. And, they would have gotten to the health insurance company that was ripping people off. They would have gone to the mattresses for it. But I mean, yeah, I guess the assassination would put a fast forward to any activities for that. But at the same time, what does it do? It puts light that was already going to be on that subject. So yeah, it's kind of weird that I come to the conclusion right now. I got to do some more thought on this, but I think this dude really did. I think he premeditated all of this to make a to draw attention to this company and draw attention to all its shareholders. And I think that everybody's pretty aware of what the hell's going on. That's a beautiful thing about this whole fucking this change in society. Whew, I got winded on that one, but yeah, man, it's
fine. I think he took everybody's problems and put it on his shoulder. And what about we're definitely gonna have a SBU episode on this.
Yeah, and also, like, if this kid lives through it, because he looks like a kid. Yeah, I mean, like, I'd say kid. He could be 22, 27, but to me, that's a young guy. And I think honestly, like, he may have seen this as his opportunity of 15 minutes of fame. And you never know how shit like this turns up too. And not only that, we haven't met the personality yet. We don't know why he pulled the trigger, or we got an idea, but at the same time, you can't go about being a vigilante. I mean, like okay. I'm going to probably say something that is considered un-American, but you take the movies like your Charles Bronson. I was raised in the 80s, and more, a good handful of the films that I couldn't watch were the Death Wish films, and they were the coolest fucking films ever. It was just like another movie was like Fort Apache the Bronx. You also had Cobra. Let's see here, and I'm talking about vigilante movies from the 80s. These guys that or the stories that had one guy that is just fed up with everything, and he doesn't give a fuck, and he's gonna start blasting everything that fucking blows his mind. So. And then that's exactly what they were promoting. They were promoting that vigilante type of person, knowing in the 80s that there were Vietnam veterans wandering around in society that are easily triggered by some of this shit, from crime to rape, you name it, man. Or God dang it, I could just slip up tonight. Ain't I? Anyways, the thing is that it leans to our passionate side. Okay, like if we see some sort of violence happening to a child, a woman, there's a side of us that wants justice. And when you see on a screen, whoever's performing this violence get blasted away, there's a certain satisfaction because you can separate yourself between yourself and the screen, but between yourself and real life. You're not going to go up and just blow some dude's head off because you saw one thing or another. But the thing is that's why we have the judicial system. That's why, when the cops come and arrest them, they ask all the questions. You have a hearing, and you're there to present all the evidence and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, this is why I assassinated this guy. My grandmother, mom, and my wife and my sister and my daughter all died because they didn't have, he lost half his family because they didn't cover insurance or some shit like that. We find out the motive behind all of this, and it's going to be the same motive anybody else would have had if they, if you put the gun in their hands, but at the same time, to say that this kid has bravery in any way, shape, or form is it's kind of questionable, man. I mean, yeah, it did, bravery against the law. Yeah, you're pretty brave because the law is going to come after you. And when they're done with you, you're going to be serving time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You murdered somebody, and tried to assassinate them,
But you don't think that some people he's a hero, though, in actuality? To some people, I mean, it depends on how you view it. I'm not saying.
Well, the thing is that, like, okay, he did something that was different from everybody else. To say he had courage is not. You can't say that somebody's got courage, because, like, take for instance, tying a rubber bungee cord around your ankles and jumping off a fucking bridge is thrilling. It takes bravery, it takes courage, but it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. You could kill yourself doing it. You could hurt somebody doing it. Blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't take any thought. All you got to do is stand up there while it's tied around your ankles. Okay. All you have to do is just decide. That's all you got to do, because adventure is only a decision away. So the very second that this kid put his hoodie on, he was getting himself geared up. He put his black hoodie on. He put his backpack on. I think he had a backpack. It looked like he had a backpack on. So he had to put on a backpack manually, and he had to put his pants on and get suited up and grab his weapon, load it up, and the whole 9 yards. That's where he's kind of like getting himself pumped up to execute it. I'm going to John Wick this guy. And the thing is that this guy could have met any other fate that was worse than that kid walking up and shooting him. And you just deny God that justice. That's another thing. Like
no, but I mean, people see him, the other people, the four, or the denied, the disposed, and the delayed. Don't you think some of them will see him as kind of like a hero in their eyes, just in their eyes? Because I believe people got satisfaction out of it. The ones who've been denied and delayed and disposed of. You know what I mean? That's
okay. All right. Let's say the kid came to me at my deathbed. Okay. Kid came to me at my deathbed, and he's like, "You're out of your deathbed because you were denied these medications at this point in time, and you could have this, that, and the other thing." And the thing is that I would look at that kid and I would have to ask him and be like, "Look, man, is this the best you can do with your life? It is just walk." Dude, if you want to kill people, sign up for the military. They'll send you out to a foreign country. Trust me, they'll give you all the practice you want and all the targets that you want. There's a profession for that shit. If you want to. But the thing is that you're so young. You could right now sign up for the military, serve your 4 years, and actually put a gun in your hands, and maybe, just maybe, have to shoot it at somebody, and maybe, just maybe, you might hit somebody, and maybe, just maybe, you may be forced to reconcile with taking a life. you know. But now he's got to reconcile taking a life, you know, because before he could reconcile taking a life and it'd be all right. There's no laws against it. He's not going to go to jail. He's not going to do anything. But the thing is that if dang it, are you still there?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I thought I lost connection for a second. But the thing of it is the kid didn't even know if he could do it. Now he's proven that he could do it. But what's going to be the outcome? Jail. You're going to be in jail now. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Do not pass go. Do not click $200 unless you're, you know, he's sitting on a couple of $1 billion and he could send every lawyer in New York City in there to represent him. He's screwed. Yeah, and for what? For one life. You know, it just, you know, there would have been better ways to. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I think there's going to be more twists with this than I don't think it is as simple as this guy was disgruntled and, you know, he took this guy's life. No. And now, another thing too, that these military.
Somebody lost you there a little bit. But yes, Rockwell, I believe there's more twists. And this is not over.
No,
I hope it's not
no,
over the beginning, but it seems to be. Right? All right, go ahead. Move.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. You know, it's hard for me to tell because I'm. Anyways, what else? He said something about twists and the military guys. They were saying like, look, if I wanted somebody deleted, I go straight to a drug addict, and I give him a portion of the money that you know that I of what I would be paying with him, and then I pay him half in money and half in drugs. He's like a drug addict, you know, like a weed head or anything like that. I would just make sure that he's got plenty of drugs, and then sure enough, the last payment is all in drugs. So that way, the guy ODs himself. And it's a completely unrelated death, and that's it. You know, do not get past go. You don't look. Yeah, it's all tied neat. He says that's exactly what I would do if I was going to have somebody deleted. And this kid here, you know, look at some of the pictures. It doesn't seem like he's anywhere near a drug addict. But then again, I could be wrong. These are all still shots that came from security cameras at like Starbucks or the little lift office where he got his bike or whatever. Dude, some fucking nerd in New York City that pays attention to all of the rental bikes found his rental bike that he used. He picked up one of those electric bikes. He rented one of those electric bikes to get away from the scene. I mean, it's not like he hopped on his bike and rode away. He shot the man and then walked over to a little spot where you rent these little bikes. He rented himself one and rode away. And this kid this kid online, he could keep track of all the bikes in New York City when they get picked up, where they get picked up, and then where they get dropped off. Because you got various little spots where, you know, you rent them on 3rd Avenue and 72nd Street, so you could ride downtown to, like, you know, Union Square or some shit, and then you could put the bike, you know, you could lodge the bike or put it away or turn it in at a place. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he rented a city bike. That's what it was. Yeah, he rented a city bike. You know, why would you rent something that can be traced? You know, and here it is. Here's another weird thing, Chris Tom, is that during January, they found everybody that was within a 10-mile radius of January 6th in the Capitol building. They found everybody. And you mean to tell me they're not going to find this kid within like 24 hours? No fucking way. This kid, they know where he's at. I'm almost sure that here at 9:34 p.m. that they're arresting his ass right now. Dude, he left a paper trail. Either that or he's, and that's another thing, Chris Tom. That's what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is people taking things into their own hands because, you know, the I don't know, man. You know, like when you start talking about laws, you know, even the laws of God being above the laws of men, and you have the laws of men, you know, that for the actual deep, but most of the think of the yeah. Well, I think the aftermath was forethought, though, Fakwa. I think the aftermath has been forethought. You know, I think this particular person, this kid, you know, thought to himself like, okay, what's going to be the consequences? Okay, so if I get arrested, I can do every press report all I want until the judge tells me I can't say anything about being, you know, this case. And even if I do, there's nobody going to be able to walk up to me and shoot me if I get on front of a microphone and a camera. You know, this kid, I kid you not, if somebody puts a microphone and a camera in front of him, the world's going to be listening because that's exactly what's going. Honestly, I think that's what's going to happen. I think he figured out how he's going to use the publicity of this. I think he figured out, um, you know, the obvious. I don't know, fucking be really, really wary to call it any kind of justice. Oh, like I said, you can't, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. You can't, you know, just murder somebody and it'd be okay. You know, and yes, you know, like if somebody did something to my kin, and you know, I was there to do, you know, I had any power to, yeah, I'd be kind of stupid about that. But you know,
But I mean, somewhere, I know it's sick and twisted, but somewhere someone is shaking their head. Finally, somebody's taking action. Of course, it's the wrong action. Of course, that's not the right way. Not at all. But
yeah,
I
but
can guarantee somebody sitting in their rocking chair or their hospital bed somewhere, even if it's only one person, and they think they
yeah,
got
but
a little bit of justice.
what if it was just simply an act of anti-Semitism or anti-Zionism or some shit like that, where the kid just read a bio about this CEO for this insurance company, and that they're under investigation and all kinds of crazy shit, and he just decided out of the blue to start taking out people that he thought were corrupt. You know, that's and to get clout for it, that's you know look, man, this ain't the Punisher comic, man. This ain't like um, what other fucking you know,
Wolverine.
well, no, I'm thinking of like your vigilante types, you know, like
Okay, there you go.
yeah, these vigilante types, and that's exactly what Frank Castle was. That's what, and the, the reason why I lean towards these stories, and the reason why I can only lean towards these stories, is because vigilanteism isn't something that should be in our society. You know, that's the crazy part about it is, you know, we make a lot of movies about. Yeah, exactly. What was he targeted for? And the crazy part about it is, you know, this kid so
I don't
far
know. It's
has,
the obvious. It seems like it's the obvious,
I don't think it's the obvious. I think
and that's that. You know,
he's gonna sit for a
pushing
while, and then
for
all of a
healthcare.
sudden, well, I think honestly, what he'll do if he's smart is he'll sit back and he won't make any kind of statements for the next like 3 to 6 months. And then when he finally gets in front of the camera, everybody's going to be glued to him. Okay. So that way he could boister out whatever fucking fucked up message he's got.
Right.
then he'll let the people decide. You know, and the weird thing of it is they're going to be people like ourselves that are going to decide before he even comes out and says anything. You know, oh, it was vigilanteism, or you know, yeah, or you know, we don't even know if you know, if the CEO was this kid's gym coach or something like that and did some weird shit to him. We don't know. We don't know what the hell is going on, why he pulled that trigger. He could, like I said, he just be some crazy Gen Z kid that went down a list of CEOs of fucked up companies and said, well, you know what? These guys do this, and this, and I'm just going to administer my own justice. And he's only going to be able to do it once. You know, this is a like I think this kid knew that he's got one shot at this, and you know,
I think it went out a little Aaron. But yeah,
oh,
we don't know. We honestly, in all honesty, we can't sit here and say we know why this man went on this rant. We don't know. But I'm going off of it as if it's the obvious. The man is trying to be a hero amongst the people of sorts. I mean, it's a socio.
but like I said, you can't Robin Hood with murder. You know, like that's exactly what that is. Is like, you know, you're trying to steal from the rich and give to the poor. Well, here, I'll give you a pound of this guy's flesh, you know, because, you know, there's no way that he's going to be paying back anybody's life that he took, that kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like you can't just
Move.
like if
It's
that were the
cutting in and
case.
out. But
Oh,
like
okay.
you said, all right, there you go. There you go.
If that
The
were the
last thing I
case,
heard you said you can't be Robin Hood, can't, delete the rich and give to the poor. That's what I heard last.
yeah, it's about that pound of flesh. You can't just give that pound of flesh to the poor and be like, yeah, you know, that this is,
Well,
I
there is
finally
a
got him
right.
for everybody. Everybody give me praise. Everybody, hey, I'm the one that did this. And so not only are you using, is this kid going to be using this for his own clout, or could he potentially be using this for his own clout when he does go public, when he does get caught? Because there's no if, man. It's when. They're either going to catch him or they're going to find his dead body. If they find his dead body, he was hired. If they don't find his dead body, then he's a lunatic that decided not to use the judicial system, not to use like what is it called when you have like 25 people that will sue a class action. Screw a class action
Right.
and getting everybody organized. This will make things go a whole lot faster. No, it's just not the way it works, man. Look, you may be able to get away with that shit in a third world country, but we're civilized here, man. It's something else to be able to take a step back. Like take for instance, you got a dairy farmer
running around as if you're Batman or something like that.
Well, no. You got yourself take yourself a beef farmer. Okay.
I mean, you should know.
No, listen. Here's a weird example. You got a beef farmer. Okay. He's got a bunch of cattle. He's got 1,000 head of cattle, and he butchers, let's say 100 head a year to sell. Well, he butchers cattle.
Yeah.
He hurts these animals in the whole 9 yards. Well, yeah, he's got to make a living, and everybody knows about farmers. But hey, you know what? This has been going on for fucking centuries and centuries and centuries. It's about time somebody stand up for all the cows, and I'm gonna delete this fucking this person
and that person. Yep.
Yeah. Where does this stop? Is what I say. It stops at our law. It stops at and man, I hate to be an advocate for the law. Don't get me wrong, man. I want less government involvement in my day-to-day, trust me. But at the same time, when it comes to dealing with crazy shit like this, yeah, let the law deal with it. Let them ask all the questions. Let them go through the juries. That's exactly why they're there. And then you can tell me whatever the hell happened, because at this point I can trust what somebody's going to say about a hearing. I'm going to hear about it, and I'm going to hear the truth. I'm pretty confident in that nowadays, especially with little channels like ours. And the thing is that I think this guy's got this planned out to get as much exposure as he possibly can, and have his moment in fame. He'll be the guy who assassinated the CEO, and that's it.
He'll have, that's his claim to fame.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, dude, he's gonna be living it up in jail.
How long you gonna walk around with that is subject to opinion, but yeah, this gentleman, I don't see him lasting long. Not on the streets, not with the technology and people always telling. He's never going to be safe.
No. And not only that, this CEO, he seemed to be like the linchpin to all the information and all these investigations into this particular company. And it's like he could have been hired from the inside, or he could have been this could have been a disgruntled patient. You never know, and it's all conclusions that we're jumping to, and assumptions that we're jumping to, or actually presumptions, because we are a little educated on what the guy actually did, why he did it, not really sure, but
Yeah,
at the same time,
definitely not.
what's that?
No, I'm saying
Uh,
that exactly. We know what he did. We just don't. We're trying to figure out why he did it. We're just speculating, folks. We're just speculating.
Absolutely, I don't know, man. If the CEO broke into his house and was trying to steal his shit for some crazy reason, and the kid shot him, no problem, dude. I'll allow it. I'll totally allow it. What's a crazy ass CEO doing in that guy's house, anyways,
Right,
right? So, I mean,
right.
look, you put me on the.
Raise his mama.
I'm not saying I'll allow it. I'll just say if you put me on the jury, you're gonna have a hung jury. Sorry, brother. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right,
You don't
right,
go into
right.
a man's place and start messing around with his shit or his people or himself. But
That
but
is
this didn't
true.
take place. That's the thing. This did not take place. This man did not. The CEO did not put this kid in a position of danger in any way, shape, or form. And I like I said,
Right.
more is to come. But I think honestly, they're gonna the news media, the media, the MSNBC and all them shit. I think honestly they're going to stretch that story out as long as they can because they need as many clicks as they possibly can get nowadays. And
Right.
even Elon
Any
Musk is
way
humoring
around
the
it.
idea of buying MSNBC. So I can't wait to see if that happens. But um, but anyway, yeah. It's I just man, I hope it's I really hope it's not for vengeance. I really hope that this kid um, comes out and he's like, I'm a part of a secret group. We've
He
got a
definitely
list of
won't
you
make it to do
people.
that.
That would really
He
make
ain't
it
gonna make it to
interesting.
do that.
But well, and here's some weird shit. Okay, you talk about vigilantism. Um, I met a let's see here. How do I tell this story? Okay, I met this kid, and he's from a small community, and 200 IQ. Okay, yeah, 200 IQ. When I met him when he was 12, and he's on the spectrum, and he had a stutter. A lot of his words would stop right at his face. Anyhow, he disappears for a little while, and he comes back at 18 years old, and he is this beast, like 6'2", 6'3", over 200 pounds, man. And yeah, much bigger than a 12-year-old kid that I met.
Right.
And he was telling me at 18 years old that he had actually that he had bodies. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. Like here's this little small, country town you're from, and he starts describing me on how these guys function. Now, let me lay it out this way. He got into manufacturing narcotics, and
Right.
by manufacturing, it was okay. First off, you couldn't touch this kid's chemistry. You couldn't touch his mathematics. You couldn't touch his software writing. He created his own virtual private network. He and this is all by the time he was 18 years old. And what he and his little group of friends figured out is that they didn't want to promote the evil drugs, is what they called them, from cocaine to heroin, all your hard drugs like crack or
Yeah, the
whatever.
hard stuff for us.
And he'd already gone through and experimented, grew his own coca leaf, and processed it, turned it into cocaine, and tried it because he wanted to manufacture things naturally, from LSD to you name it. So they ended up throwing out all the hard drugs and keeping lysergic acid diethylamide or LSD, DMT, and shrooms. and weed too. So those four drugs is what they and anything else was absolutely evil. It was horrible, the whole 9 yards. So this kid would get a text message with an address on it, and he would go to that address and knock on the door, and they'd open it up and say, "Hey," he'd say, "Let me in," and they'd lock the door on him, and he would blow the door off with explosives and execute everybody in the room and set fire to millions of dollars worth of pills, heroin, whatever it was, like a hub. We would get like an address to a hub of mass distribution from like kilos and big bags of all kinds of big, it's not like going to your guy for a half ounce or ounce of fucking herb. No, these are guys these are like cartel motherfuckers. And he would tell me these stories about what he was doing, and I felt two different ways. I was like, you know what, I really ought to burn down a lot of these. It'd be good if there were less of these motherfuckers, that were throwing these pills around, because I got to work with the assholes that are breaking their families down, from doing these drugs and doing this shit. I'm tired of it, really. And it sounds kind of cool that these waste of human beings are not on the earth anymore. And it's like, whoa, wait a second, like, at the end of the day, this kid is talking about murder. He's talking about, like, this is the real deal. Now, I ain't never killed anybody, and I don't plan on. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. It's I don't know. It's just, I would be afraid for somebody to take an outward look at my life and figure out some stupid reason to pull a trigger on me, or one of my friends, or one of my family, which is why we have law and order. That's why that's why I always find myself falling back on that. Not so much as I fall back on, cops or anything like that, but at the same, for the life and death type of shit. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, I'm not trained in the law. I'm not trained to go hunt somebody down because, they fuck with some kin of mine or some shit like that. I mean, like, I don't know, dude. It's, we don't rally up posses anymore and go hunt the bad guy down, or gather up our torches and pitchforks and shit. We do that with our vote. We do that with our voices. We do that with our films. We do that with, and that's where we get our release. That's why we like watching, the movies like, the Death Wish, man, or John Wick. There's a part of us that leans towards that shit and is like, fuck, man, you know what? There's about 15 people I've worked with throughout my life, and I wouldn't mind one bit going through it if I saw them all at a club like John Wick did. And I'm saying this with a good grin on my face. I'm joking. It's there's I take no delight in murder in any way, shape, or form. But there's a side of
vigilante. We don't believe in vigilante justice at this channel.
I've never been put in that position. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never really, like, I've had beefs with people that I've had, physical confrontations with. And,
but no, we don't aspire to be vigilantes here.
Well, we both walk away from a fight. He walked up and shot this dude in the back. He didn't even walk up to him and look him in the eye when he did it. It's like, I'm sorry, it's a little level of cowardness. And you better be shortchanged when if he does get a parapet, if he does get a camera and a microphone in front of him, he better not like claim too much on this shit, because, dude, you coward shot this man in the back. You didn't even look him in the eye before you killed him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man. If you really want to look at all of this, from life and death situation, and you really want, respect for what you did, even though let's say this dude was an absolute total bastard. Let's say he was, abusive husband, and he worked for a fucking insurance company that screwed thousands of people out of insurance coverage. It doesn't
Very
matter
wrong.
at the end of the day. This is how, man.
Are we
Well,
going in and out?
I
I
could
don't know.
see. Oh, there we go. I could see, some really gruesome details being appealing, but at the same time, it's like it's the same thing at the end of the day. You walked up behind this dude, so he couldn't run away. He couldn't even see. You didn't even give him a chance to fucking dodge or anything like that, which shows the
Or defend
confidence in
yourself.
which it shows the confidence in which he executed him too. He had no confidence whatsoever. Instead, and why stand at a distance, man? Why not walk right up behind him and put one, right in the spinal column or right in the back of the neck? He could have done that with one shot. Boom, kept on walking. But no, he didn't. I don't know, man. It was very, very not thought out.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, it's not on us to say. Yeah, I mean, see, that's why I like different perspectives because I came from one, and that was for the vigilante justice, for the person that's in that bed and they can't do for themselves, for the denied, delayed, disposed. That's what I'm thinking. Because when you etch words into a bullet, that's right there is like for real. That's like unprecedented.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not unlike writing the man's name down. And that's the thing too. Why didn't he put a name on the bullets? Why not attach this man's name to those three statements? Or there's a lot of
I do
questions.
think he
There's a
got
lot
the
of
man he
questions.
wanted. I actually think he got the man he wanted. When you think about what's on that, and you think about the man's occupation, who he is in the world, it makes plenty of sense. Again, I'm speculating, but that's what
Yeah.
makes the most sense.
But then again, you don't know if this guy's name's on the Epstein client list or something like that too. It's
Yeah, we
like
don't know anything really, but I'm
that's
just
the
going
thing.
for what's
This kid,
most likely.
this kid could be working on the inside, and he's got or better yet, oh, now conspiracy theory Thursday, baby. Let's say this kid's got the license to kill, and
Delete.
he's been given names from the government ahead of time, and he's just starting down his little list. Oh shit. Let's say he's
So
got, he's like giving full immunity, the whole 9 yards. He knows how to disappear, and the whole aspect of it is to let the public see a glimpse of him here and there, and then off into the night. Who knows, man? First CEO of Cash App, nor CEO of Union Health care what really going on. I think it was a hit. Yeah, there's a good chance it was a hit.
What's going on 757?
Yeah.
It was definitely a hit. It was definitely a hit.
Yeah, it was definitely a hit. It was done well. It was a shitty hit, but yeah, it was definitely a hit. Very unprofessional. Very, very unprofessional.
Yeah.
Nothing blew up. Dude had to fumble with his gun all 3 rounds that he shot, and the first round went into the guy's leg.
Yeah, I heard that.
There was no it didn't show any signs of experience, and that's what I kind of draw from the military guys that were evaluating this. They're like, this guy he seems like he's never drew a gun on somebody and shot them before. He says, and he started pointing out on things that we do without even thinking when we as laymen, when we're not soldiers or we're not trained to shoot somebody. Yeah, definitely, Faco. He could have been hired by someone, and I'm almost. Oh man, it's like everything is speculation. I'm speculating left and right, and
yeah, we're all speculating. We have no idea.
Yeah, I really don't know, but at the same time, I know how some of the public likes to look at some of this shit, and there's a part of me that Look, man, God could have wanted this guy to die in a car wreck today instead of, being shot the other day because he was supposed to say something to somebody else, but this kid had something else in mind.
Right.
We don't know how karma is supposed to work out, and I do believe that God's got a particular plan for all of us. And there's no getting away from it. And the thing of it is when we try to what man imposes, God disposes. 9 times out of 10. Whenever you're trying to go against the grain or go against the path the Lord tried to give you, it's always rougher. I'm speaking from experience on that shit, man. I'd start off in New York City homeless, and I thought that was the
I'm not
right
mad at
path,
you.
man. What's that?
Oh no,
Ah, man, I think I'm breaking up. Hello.
hey, like, sub, and share. Welcome to Conspiracy Theory Thursdays. I'm here with Move.
Yep. Ah, there we are.
Speaking
Can you
about
hear
the
me?
CEO. Okay, we talking about the CEO who was assassinated on the middle of Manhattan in broad daylight.
Broad daylight. That's some crazy shit right there. But then again, like crazier shit has happened in broad daylight in New York. Nothing new under the
Yeah,
sun,
that's
bro.
what make it serious. Like in broad daylight in New
Yeah,
York
it's an
City, and
example.
had names. I mean, words on the bullet.
Yeah, it's an example. It's the first chapter in this whole story, and we're bound to get more. It's just a matter of time. And then what more we get, it depends.
Definitely.
Like, we'll this is the coolest shit nowadays, man, because we don't have the media telling us what we are supposed to be seeing. We know what we're seeing. We know what's going on, and we know why certain things happen and why they don't. We know how to differentiate the details. Just give us the details so we can figure them out, like the journalists used to do back in the day. They used to just report the details, and we as coworkers would talk about that shit at work. Hey, did you see the news story last night? Yeah, I can't believe it. Blah 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 blah. You know,
Water cooler
and
talk.
we would make up our own minds about that shit. And then when we went to the voting polls, we could do that. But and now you got the legacy media and
But yeah, social media. I mean, you got it's cameras everywhere. You can't do anything. You're not
ABC,
gonna get away
CNN.
from anything.
No, man, I watch X, I watch YouTube, I watch Rumble. I don't even bother with
Right.
those other uh, uh, media platforms anymore. Hell no. There's a movie out there that was made in the 80s called The Paper Chase. Now, I know nobody's ever heard this fucking movie. It was a sleeper at the box office, but it did get an Academy Award. It starred Robert Redford, and he worked, I think he was the editor-in-chief of a newspaper, and I can't remember what the name of the newspaper was. It was a long time ago. Like I said, it was in the 80s. It was a really good film, and you're going to watch that film for one line, and the line is the question is um is the statement correct? And the writer says no, but it's news. And this is back in the 80s. Okay, so this is when they were trying to capture the audience's eyes or capture the ears by explaining things in a very violent and scary way to create intensity during the stories so people would be gripped. So they wrote these stories a whole lot. Yeah, they
Oh,
lived
we saw
in
that. We
the
saw they live.
yeah.
We
No,
definitely saw
no.
they
We
live.
know they lived. We know they lived. You need to watch The Paper Chase. I know you haven't seen it. I know nobody's seen it. Okay. It's an
No, I
old
don't think I've seen
fucking
that.
it's an old 80s film, and it's probably gonna be boring as all hell. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But it has a lot to do with the how journalists have changed in the past 40 or 50 years. You know, it's gone from hinting at a lie and it's still being legally viable for it. But then again, nowadays, everything is an opinion. Everything on those stations, it's not. It's how these people feel. It's not that they're not going by details anymore, in any way, shape, or form. You don't want to go by details. All right, you go to X. Yeah, but yeah, They Lived. Roddy Piper, one of the best fucking like
that movie was awesome.
Get Out of the Matrix type of movies. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
Shit, I still watch that movie to this day. I probably watched it last month.
Oh, and you know what? I got to watch that again too. But
yeah, it's right on Tubi or Tubi, whatever you call it.
Yeah, and it's what's it? You got They Lived. You got 1984 with Robert Duvall. You've got what's another one? Oh, Soylent Green. If you want to see a trippy ass movie, Soylent Green. Let's see here. And I'm not going to say Logan's Run is another one of those too. Back in the 70s or late 60s, early 70s. Logan's Run was a good one. And that's about the utopic society and that kind of shit. Let's see here. Oh, Fahrenheit 451. That's a good book to read and a good film to watch. It's funny because a lot of these were required reading when I was growing up as a kid, and now you can't find these books in the library. Well, you could if you look for them, but they're no longer required reading. And it's weird because a lot of these books were books that would explain this dystopian society that we could easily fall or find ourselves in, and blindly finding ourselves in. So anyhow, we pushed past that hour mark, and I really do need to get.
I know you probably got to work.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, folks, man. I mean, like, I love justice. I really do. You know, I like seeing redemption. I like seeing people being vindicated. And at the same time, there's a way to do it, and it's a boring way, but at the same time, it puts the victim in the victim's place and no place other. You know, you don't want somebody who's been a victim to you don't want their victimhood stained with another crime. You know, you don't want somebody, looking at one of these people that was denied insurance and go, oh, you know what? Your debt was fucking paid when that dude hit the pavement and started bleeding. You know, you don't want people thinking like that, do you?
I do get what you mean there. That is a good way to come to go.
You know, there are a lot of people that won't, I mean, it's not to say that people are cold, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you know what? The CEO really got what? Well, doesn't that lessen the blow of a major lawsuit granting hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to people? So instead of organizing a class action lawsuit for all of these folks that got screwed, we'll just walk up and assassinate the guy. That doesn't solve a goddamn thing. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Desi Dez?
Nigga, great point.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't want, if I was dead from lack of treatment, I wouldn't think that it was ended by the time that guy hit the pavement. You know, it's like, oh, well, look, the story over, game over.
Yeah, man. You didn't solve anything by taking dude out.
Yeah, I mean, no, the only thing it did solve is a little bit of bloodlust. That's the thing, like it satiates the palate for a moment, but you either want more or you feel like you're dissatisfied with what's going on, and it's like, wow, well, yeah, and here's another thing too. You think that CEO did all that shit by himself? No,
well, of course not.
Right, man. I mean, like, dude, and I'm not suggesting that he killed more CEOs. I'm just saying that, you know, it takes way more than two to do that tango, man. It takes, a couple thousand assholes to fucking pull that off. And if this kid really wanted to start at the top and work his way down, he's still got a lot of work ahead of him.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
he hasn't even scratched the surface yet,
what the fuck,
and he's gonna
But
end up
like I
somewhere
said,
he wouldn't even
if I
think
was
he'd
one of
end up.
these, if I really was, if I was one of these patients, and I'm like, dude, yeah, but it was the whole company that fucked me. It wasn't just the CEO that you just murdered. It's I don't know, man. If I was 25, 27, I'd be like, yeah, dude, you know what? The guy that fucking deserved it in the whole 9 yards. But now that I'm 50, I'm like, I don't even know what this kid deserved. He just murdered somebody in cold blood. What does he deserve? It's like, and who are you going to murder next?
Yeah, he wants it.
Yeah, dude. Are you going to be friends with, are you going to go to rallies and murder, the politicians that don't agree with you?
Delete.
Yeah.
Can't delete everybody.
No. See, you got to let him with the first sin cast, or let he with no sin cast the first stone. It's like, dude, whoever's perfect here, raise your fucking hand, because we need a perfect person here to throw a stone and kill somebody. Okay. That's a whole Mary Magdalene story. Okay. The woman was caught committing adultery. And then by the laws there, she was supposed to be stoned to death. And that's when Christ stood before her and the stones and said, hey, let any of you assholes that's got a stone in his hand that is without sin cast the first stone. It's like, everybody, you what did this kid do wrong? Oh, does he got child prawn on his laptop? Does he have what what twisted him to the point where he felt like all casual about walking up to somebody and shooting them in the fucking back like a coward? Yeah, it takes a coward to steal from people that are in hospital beds. I understand that, man. I really do. But yeah, man, I mean, come on. It's the worst fates that guy could have gone through without that kid shooting him. So anyway, I gotta wrap it up. Jackie, thank you so much for having me again, man. I miss both you and Doc, and but unfortunately, I got to be up in about 4.5 hours to go to work.
All right, now do your thing, brother. I appreciate you coming out and spending some time with us, with me.
Hey,
So,
I do have a
don't
message for
relax.
everybody out there. I really do. If this is going to be the last thing I say on this podcast tonight, is that I noticed that on our local little Facebook thing, we get things that happen in town are kind of posted up there. If somebody gets arrested, it's posted up there. If somebody wants to build little flower pots for some people, they'll put a little post up there. And I noticed the post, these guys were going at it because this guy was walking his daughter on the sidewalk, and this big dog, it come after him. We're in a small community, and the dog's harmless, but he's big and stupid, and he's so they're going back at it, back and forth. These two families, I'm walking my daughter on a public sidewalk, blah blah blah, and it occurred to me, everybody, that one day we may have to have each other dig each other out of the mud. It's happening right now as we speak. There's still people being dug out of the mud. There's still people in shit conditions, and people really did pull for each other when this emergency happened with the Hurricane Helene, and it's an example for us exactly what we may or may not have to do for each other. So while we're out in the public there, Stop being assholes to each other. You may have to pull each other out of a car wreck or something like that. That's far more important than any kind of like little mishap or misunderstanding that you may have. You know, you're just having a bad mood that day, but just remember that you may have to see somebody in need. Maybe it's a great need. So let's just be nice to each other. So when we do have to do all that bullshit, we can put a smile on our face, or at least not feel that much worse that we got to do it for somebody we just don't get along with. So anyway, God bless everybody, man, and thanks again for having me. And I'm out. You guys be good or be good at it, brother.
All right, be good. Take it easy, Move. Yeah, that was Move. We were speaking on the CEO assassination in Manhattan. Guy had the name. He had 3 words on 3 bullets, and Move basically gave y'all I guess the clean blue collar way of the way he feels, the way he thinks, and I respect it. But I know there are people out there who feel some sort of justification. They feel justified. I mean, is it right or wrong? I'm not the one to tell you. But yeah, everybody's not gonna wait for the judicial system because to some of us, the judicial system takes too long. Doing things the right way takes a long time, and then after doing things the right way, you still might not win. You still might come up short. And I try to put myself in a place to think for those people who, you know, feel injustice because there's but so much you can actually take as a man or as a woman, as a person, as a human being. There's but so much you can take. Of course. But yeah, I try to think for the other people, the person in the hospital bed, and like Moon said, it's not right that you're in that hospital bed being denied, but it's also not right that he went and took that man's life. Do I agree with that? Yeah, for the most part, yeah, it's not right. It didn't accomplish anything really. You just got him out the way. Now what if the next person is worse? But life is difficult. You gotta work hard at it to perfect it. You just don't give up. Don't go out like no sucker. You can't be Batman. You can't be like you said, who you said, the Punisher, you're not Deadpool, you're not vigilante justice. You will get caught, you will get, deleted. You will get, put under that ground. I mean, yeah, fight for a cause. It is good to fight for a cause. Just, what Moves is saying, fight the smart way. And what I'm saying is, I understand if you say F the smart way. I ain't saying not to do it. I ain't saying not to do the smart way. I'm just saying I understand why you didn't or you don't want to. I get that part. But I appreciate everybody who came through. Dez, Chris Tom, Fakwa, 757, of course, Miss Brinson. But I'm about to get up out of here. I want to play baseball and enjoy the rest of my night. But y'all enjoy the rest of your night as well. We about to get up out of here. Desi Dez, hold it down, bro. Appreciate you. And I do want you to hear what I got. Now I mean I'm working on the second one already. But that's for another day. We gonna talk, bro. You have a good night, brother. Everybody else, y'all have a good night. Peace.
You see, talks like his shit don't stink, but he's cool with people. I knew his father. Just Uncle Jackie better. Jackie was alright. Uncle Jackie was excellent. Fucking guineas. Uncle Jackie. Uncle Jack. Line, everybody, line. listen the fuck up. What's going down? Pay attention. Alright? Now, niggas a little man, bitches a little man, the block's a little man, the fuck a little man, bitches a little man, bitches a little man, fuck you all, I'm the motherfucking general, niggas a little man, bitches a little man, the block's a little man, the fuck a little man, bitches a little man, it's a little man, fuck who you are. When I walk through, stop, silence, remain quiet, babies don't cry, thug. Yo, I think it's time we take a fucking time out to hear what Harlem got to say. What, niggas? Harlem on the vibes. You don't want no problem with us, guys.
Practice. I can show you practice. I can show you how to put $1 million in a mattress. I can show the difference between an icon and a classic. Baby in the major should be rolling in a basket. I'm advanced, and it's a lot of dance. From anywhere, my jewelry jump like John Moran. And Kif Tower shorts got me tanning with the babes. You would be a surfer if you ever had this wave. I just switch up my cabana, they throw shade. Matter top 5 and top wives, no I'm the fade. And throw them out the loop, I be mute, playing cute, nothing to say to you. Cause when I'm back home, I'm like Kyrie, I won't play with you. This is magic with the fur. Tim Duncan on the spur. Tanya Harton on the skate. This that Kobe number 8. This the kick over the head in the hand of Sue Bird. This boy's superb. All I got is 2 words.
Uncle Jackie, peace out.